Good evening, everyone. About time as well. We are here tonight for FRL. It is F1. Apologies about the delay. Drivers had unblocked each other, apparently, which is why we were delayed about 15 minutes or so. But I'm glad that we are getting underway, and we hope for very good racing out on track tonight. For round 4 of the championship for the French Grand Prix from Circuit Paul for the sprint and indeed the feature. It's been a while. My name is James Head, and I'm going to be taking to the stream, of course, as always, on this fine Tuesday evening now it is, and joining me in the commentary box, a man that has been here 3 weeks in a row and probably hasn't got sick of the sight of Evil Zook. It is Mr. CPI Ivo. Ivo, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing really, really well, and obviously with the first 3 rounds of the championship gone, it's going to be an interesting night tonight in front.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can look at standings. Yeah, of course, name changer. Yeah, he's dominating for now the season with Macho in second, Pepine in third, Kike in fourth, Zero in fifth, Charlie in sixth, Liam in seventh, Bunty in eighth, Ruti and then Bobby and then a few people with 1 point, and for the rest, everyone is on 0 points.
Yeah, everyone indeed is on 0 points further down the field. Name changers, you mentioned there on 58 points. Macho there in second on 43. And of course, Macho, I believe, had a qualifying ban last week, which is why he's there in second. He could have potentially won the race in Belgium. Of course, Name Changer has dominated the last 2 run-ins, of course, in Azerbaijan and indeed in Belgium. We can ready up, by the way, if you are listening to the stream, we can ready up. Coming into tonight, I'm going to actually message, because I have not messaged everyone. But we can ready up, which is what I've not told people to do. But there we go. We can ready up. Everyone is now beginning to ready up, which is good. But yeah, Name Changer leading the way on 58 points. The former F1 Esports Challengers man. Of course, Challengers is on tonight for the Xbox side at least. Macho there in second on 43. Papine there in third on 30. Then Keki in fourth on 29. Zero and Charlie fifth and sixth on 28. So they're tied on points. Liam there in seventh on 20. He's not here, I believe, tonight. Bunty there in eighth on 17. Ruti in ninth on 15. And then Bobby there in 10th on 12 points. And of course, we get in towards the sprint race. One-shot qualifying, of course, followed by a 9-lap sprint round here in France. Let's have a look then at the track map in question. 5.8 kilometres and then 3.6 miles, 15 turns away now. It drives, of course, out on track here with 2 DRS zones, 1 down the back straight down in towards the chicane Nord at turns 8 and 9, and then 1 down the start finish straight, of course, in towards turn number 1 as well. And Ivo, looking at the track, it does, I'm not sure if you've loaded into the same, it does look rather overcast though here in France.
Yeah.
It is going to be an interesting one, certainly, and I think it is going to be one of those nights where it is going to really test, I think, the drivers' limits. I think it's going to really test them in terms of the tyre wear, in terms of DRS, and hopefully we do get going out on track very soon indeed. I'm a little bit concerned because I've got the session will start in 000 on my screen, so I'm hoping nobody is leaving the stream. Oh, there we go. It's now back to 0. And then we've rebooted into 30 seconds. Yeah, there we go. 30-second countdown is starting now. So we should be getting going into qualifying. Apparently it says waiting for players on my end. which I've never noticed actually before.
Yeah, same for me. But I think now people are choosing setups.
Yeah, they are, and they are indeed. Oh, and I've just realised as well. Oh,
Oh,
as Keki has left the session,
oh,
uh, he should have, I think, invites into the lobby. I think.
oh, Keke has a default setup now.
Oh God. Oh
Oh,
no. It's one shot
but,
qualifying as well. Do we have to restart potentially?
uh, I don't know. He says it's on the drive now. But, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if we should. Maybe we can do the qualifying, then the sprint restart or something.
Yeah, we could do. We could do a possible restart for one shot and start last or something, says Keki. Yeah, I think we could do that, I think. Name changer though was on a lap 22.1 through the first sector. They're in third match, they're out on top from Bunty there in second.
Oh,
Watermelon's retired
watermelon card.
already at the session as well. And now down the Mistral straight towards K. Not Bullboy's up there as well. Charlie up there as well in the midfield. But it looks like Name Changer is going to be one of the quickest out on track. He's now comes through the right hand return number 9. Then
Oh,
through
Bunty.
towards the right hand return number 10. And yeah, Bunty out on top currently from Macho second. Name changer, by the way, in the middle sector. 50 flat in the middle sector, which is pretty much on par with what we expect for one-shot qualifying around here. As now Name changer comes in towards the right-hander of turn number 11, I think it is. Yeah, turn number 11 at Bose. Then in towards the left-hander of turn number 12. Macho Name changer Bunty. Papine, everyone now flicking. Seven of Flair, the reserve driver, of course, for NLR. He is there up into around 5th position. I think he's just had an invalidation as well, so he's dropped now at the back of the field. The name changer now through the final couple of corners. Through turn 14, through the right-hander 15 at Pont. But Macho Name Changer, one of these is going to be on pole position. Bunty could try and get Name Changer potentially to second. But Macho, I think, on the run to the line is going to be quicker than Name Changer. He is indeed, but it's not by much in the end. Very, very close and only a 10th of a second covering the top two. Macho there from Name Changer in second. Bunty there in third. Keki's AI, by the way, 39 flat indeed in terms of his lap time. For Keki's AI there starting in 13th position if he does rejoin the lobby, which hopefully he will do. But I think we might have to have a restart after one-shot qualifying, and then everything can be changed. But we can run through the qualifying just to run through, and then I'll take photos and everything like that. But Macho's out on top. From Name Changer there in second, Bunty there in third, Pine there in fourth, Zabel there in fifth, Davenenko there in sixth, Chippy there in seventh with Sen and 8th, Bobo there in ninth, the F2 reserve, Charlie there in 10th, Bobby in 11th, Keki there in 12th, Seth Flair in 13th, had an invalidation, that was well with Bolo, I think, invalidated in the first sector, and Watermelon there down in 15th position. But Macho out on top, Name Changer second, Bunty there in third. I am gonna ask Mr. Keki if he wants a restart, which I think will only be fair if he does want to restart.
Yeah, I think he wants, but otherwise, default setup, it's not drivable.
Yeah, it is not drivable. Oh my god. Oh no. I think he doesn't want to rejoin. I think in one-shot qualifying here and into the sprint because it's
Full.
absolutely chucking down. Full wet conditions. Full wet conditions for the sprint. And yeah, I think the only fairest thing for Keki certainly, for default setup is so we can get a setup on. I think we'll restart the session at the end of qualifying there and go into the sprint race just fresh. I will literally be 2 minutes in setting this up. We'll flick back to the thumbnail. We'll get everything sorted. You will hear some music on in the background as well. But me and Ivor, we're going to be back with you in a couple of minutes once we get everything sorted. Which, knowing the start of the stream, it's probably going to take about 15 minutes. But we'll be back as soon as we can. Welcome back. Oh my word, that took a lot longer than I was expecting, but we are now getting going for the sprint race. It is myself and Ivo going to be taking to the stream, of course, here tonight. We had to restart. Well, we had to restart because Keki, we thought, had disconnected. Well, apparently he only wanted the new setup on, didn't he? So that's why we had to restart qualifying, and then it was too late. So we're here. We've done it. It's very wet conditions, exactly mirroring the start of the sprint, of course, in the before we get in towards the feature race. And Ivo, of course, Macho's out on top, name changer alongside him. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think Macho needs to gain points for name changer as well this week. Because he's, I think, 16 points or something behind. And a sprint weekend is a great opportunity to make those points. Because you have 2 races where you can gain points. So, yeah. I think we'll go for it.
Yeah, double points I think is going to be very, very much important as well because the sprint points are obviously on the line as well. And this really does mean that we are going to be playing a lot for points, and this is going to start determining who is going to be towards the top end of the championship as the season goes on. A reminder, of course, before we get, I think, into the formation lap, name changers out on top. Sev has now left the session. Goodness sake. The world.
I hope he had a setup.
I hope he had a setup, and I hope, well, it's not one-shot qualifying, so I think he. Yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore. What I was going to say is we're going to do the championship standings, and that's all that on the left-hand side. But name changes out on top. Macho there in second, Papine there in third. 58 points to 43 to 30 is how the current standings are. But looking at that battle for third, actually, Ivo, Papine, Keki, Zero, and Charlie, all separated by 2 points coming into tonight. That is going to be an interesting fight, I think, as well. Barring, of course, the front two are probably going to be streets ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, I think yeah, Papine and Keke, Zero, Charlie are really close to each other, but I think Papine or Keke will. Yeah, I think will be in a few races here. They will be a lot more points ahead of Charlie and Zero because Papine and Keke also missed 1 race, so that's a lot of points they couldn't get. So.
Yeah, and looking at the weather conditions, I'll take you back, by the way, to the on-track action. We are now getting going for the formation lap. Sev has not put it set up on either, which I think is too late for the sprint. I'm not sure whether we restart for the feature. I don't think we should. This is why I'm going to ask everyone in the developers chat about it in behind the scenes. Because I am not in the jurisdiction of what is going to be happening. We restarted for Keki, so I can only assume we could restart for Sev, but if this is a bit of a tactic from the NLR guys, then it's very much unfair, I think, for everyone else. And because everyone might not necessarily start the race, that we shouldn't really restart. But if anybody can let me know on that, please do, because I am, honestly, on my return, honestly, it is just unbelievable. I thought I'd seen the light of day of these issues, but it seems like toward the end of the game cycle, with only roughly 2 months out until the start of the new game, these issues keep arising, which is typical.
Yeah. I think as well, Seth will get disqualified now because he left from, and he will. I think will get disqualified from the sprint race now, as well, because this is as well glitch if you leave in a formation lap or disconnect, then you get disqualified at the start. That's well glitch in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many glitches within this game as well. Obviously, the shift is now on the new game, but we are not going to be starting for one person. It's confirmed. We're not going to be restarting for Sev. So, we restarted for Keki because we thought, quite visibly, that we thought that he disconnected. In the end, it was from the setup-related matter. We shouldn't have restarted. I've realised that ever, and I know for a fine fact if we do that looking forward, it is going to be changed. We're going to obviously take that on board, and for next week for next week, hopefully we don't have these issues. Charlie's been disqualified from the session for being out of position. Keki has as well. Sen has as well. Very, very strange, as I think we're waiting on Seb's AI at 80 AI to rejoin. Oh, and he's going to go. Oh, thank goodness. Five red lights are coming out, I think. On the gantry, yes, they are. 5 red lights are coming out, and we better get going. Full FRL. Back time. It's lights out, away we go. And Macho gets a very good start. Name change alongside him as well. Fantastic stuff on Bunty as well. He's going to try and look into a turn number 1.
Bunty down the side.
That was, Bunty to the inside line of turn number 1 on name changer, trying to get the job done. Papine there in 4th is trying to hang on there on the inside line. There's a crash through turn number 1. Seb's been disqualified.
And Zero, I think maybe they made contact. And there's a wing. Yeah, a wing gone for Zero. His left end plate is gone.
That is unfortunate. Further down the field as well, Davenenko trying to attack Charlie, but already Macho's 1.2 seconds down and from mastering the wet conditions early on. From name changer there in 2nd, Papine there in 3rd, Bunty there in 4th, Chippy's there on the back of Davenenko as well, and that's a phenomenal run actually onto the Mistral straight. Has a little bit of a check there to the left-hand side. 90% of EUSTU's up down the straight. It's full wet conditions early on in the sprint. Chippy looks on the back of Davenenko, his teammate, but he's not going to get the job done, I don't think, in towards the chicane. Nor Charlie there hassling the back of Bunty with a very good start from the FRL man.
Between Ballboy and Bolo, and Ballboy has been spun around by Bolo, and I think Bolo lost his complete wing. I think his whole wing is gone.
Yeah, he's letting them back through as well. Ballboy, I think, is not happy with that, to be honest, but Bolo there is. He lets him through, and actually, speaking of letting him through, Chippy ran the outside of Watermelon, could get the job done. Watermelon, I think, has actually attacked into the inside on the Bose. In towards turn number 12, Red Bull alongside on the Alpine, they're very wide on the exit of the corner. Chippy on the inside line, just feathers the throttle nicely, but Watermelon I think is going to be a hair and he's through. So Watermelon through and he's into 7. Chippy there in a very, very early on, very tentative start to the French Grand Prix. A little bit of carnage further down the field as actually down the inside line goes Keki all of a sudden. The NLR man having a very good start indeed. He's up into 8th position after putting his setup on. Bolo's gone into the pit lane, I think, and has actually spun into the back of somebody, or spun coming into the pit lane as Bobby is attacking Chippy in towards turn number 1 as well. And then gonna get the job done. That's Mercedes wide, and that's Bunty wide coming through turn number 1. He's had a problem there coming through turn 1. Davenenko in 5th, Bunty in 2nd, Bunty dropping down, Chippy's still on the back of, Bobby's still on the back of Chippy.
Yeah, Charlie, by the way, he gained 6 places from P10 to P4 now, so that's a great start for him. Watermelon also gained 7 places, Keke also, and the biggest loser for now is Zero, who lost 8 places.
Yeah, and now those position losses are going to be very much on the burner, as Keki on the burners to the inside line, and the Mistral straight into the chicane. No, gets the job done. Beautiful move that on Watermelon in the tricky conditions, getting 8 positions up the race start. Keki there in 7th, Watermelon there in 8th, doing a fantastic job. As I said earlier on, we had to restart for Keki because we legitimately thought he actually left the session before the start of qualifying, and that is different to the situation with Sev. We realised that the first restart, we're literally mute our mics and we're like, yeah, it's not going to work. So we realised that, and we know for fine fact it's not going to happen next week, because I know for fine fact it won't, if I'm still in charge of the lobbies, that is. Macho, though, leading the way. Name changer in 2nd, Pine there in 3rd. Charlie there currently in 4th. Davenenko in 5th, Bunty in 6th, Keki in 7th, Watermelon in 8th, Chippy there in 9th, Bobby in 10th, Sen in 11th, Ballboy there in 12th, Zabo with that front wing change down in 13th. He's not going to be getting the race win, I don't think, from that far back. Safety cars are normally not travelling around here. There's been a lot of talk as well about the safety cars being put on reduced for this race. I can say that it's going to be put on, I think, for Silverstone, which is going to change with Monaco, I believe, for next week. That will come out, I'm sure, in due course if that is the case. But Watermelon on the back of Keki. Everyone now settling down, which is good. Everyone settling into their rhythms. Macho leads the way 2.8 seconds, and he looks absolutely phenomenal out in front.
Yeah, he's just a mile ahead of name changer. Just 3 laps, it looks like he gained the 2nd a lap. So if he keeps this going, we'll finish 9 seconds ahead of name changer. Is for now championship rival. So I think we'll also give him a boost going into the future race if he can keep up this pace.
Yeah, definitely so, as I'm just typing a message in the F1
Yeah.
Discord because things are kicking up a little bit in there. But Macho leading the way from name changer there in second, behind that in third. Very close as well, Keki on the back of Bunty. He makes a slight mistake actually coming out of the Mistral straight through the chicane Nord. Now running up in the run up towards the hill and towards turn number 10. Keki on the back of Bunty. Not going to look for the move, I don't think. Everyone just settling into their rhythms and wide there. I think it was Papine, if I'm not mistaken. Papine was very wide, took the DRS board off him as well, or one of the brake rocket boards with him. But Papine had a huge moment coming out of turn number 10. Charlie on the back of him was one of the two. I think it was Papine or the Alpha Tyrant that made the mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you've clarified as well, that's the restart, which is the best thing. That's what I'm trying to do as well, as Bunty actually runs back. Sorry, yeah, Keki runs very wide indeed. I wonder if he's got some wing damage. Let's have a look on board with him. Watermelon on the back of Keki. Keki's dropped off Bunty all of a sudden. It looked like he had some wing damage on my end. But
I can't see it, but maybe he has. Oh,
what? VSC deployed out on track. Is that Zero on the wall? No, who's that?
No.
Who is that?
What?
Why is the VSC out on track? I'm about as oblivious as to this as everyone else. No resemblance of mistake. I'm flicking through everyone and I can't see any damage on anyone. This is the most... Unless it is Zero at the back of the field.
Yeah,
in the pit lane.
Yeah,
it's Zero.
Oh, he has. Oh. But at my screen he has no damage, but maybe...
He's got no damage on mine either. He retires in the pit lane. I can only assume what has happened there is I think he might have spun and had a bit of rear wing damage.
Yeah,
and
I think that.
Yeah, and the barrier's been sticking out and it's caused that VSC. That's what I'm thinking. That's the most ridiculous VSC I think I've ever seen. But there we are. This is what you come to expect when you've got a Co-Masters game. But Macho leads the way from name changer there in second. I think we're getting back on the way because name changer's just beginning to close in on the back of Macho. Now they close down a little bit again. Pine there in third, Charlie in fourth. Davidenko, Bunty, 5th, 6th, Keki, 7th, Watermelon, 8th, Chippy and 9th, Bobby on the back of him actually to the right hand of turn number 10. Nearly one out wide there slightly, and nearly one so far out wide he's off the track. Nearly is Bobby. Xavier was retired, his yellow flag is for his car coming out of the pit lane, which is another thing that was going to fix the F1 23 game. But Macho leads, name changer second, Papine there in third, in these very wet conditions, lap 4 out of 9 in the sprint. 27 laps of the feature, which I can report because I've done the weather, is going to be cloudy to dry. So it's going to be partly cloudy to clear before the end of the race. So it's going to be a clear race.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Charlie, he is really close to Papine now. I think Papine... Oh, Papine goes a bit deep. Charlie for a switchback. Can he get P3? Charlie side by side with Papine. And Charlie, I think, is going to be ahead.
Papine's still there. He's on the inside line through 4. Down through the right hand of turn number 5. And to be fair, they gave each other so much room there. Charlie gets a switch back. Papine slides. Charlie, I'm not honestly sure if he's going to risk that to the inside line of turn number 6. I wouldn't know if I was in his shoes, as Charlie is on the back of Papine, running down the Mistral straight once again. Davidenko's on the back of these guys as well. But here comes Charlie on the back of Papine. Now he's got 78% of ERS, or 70% of ERS, compared to Papine, who's on 62%. He's got slightly more, but in these conditions, it's very easy to gain that ERS back because they are literally running 75 litres of water a second, the wet, and they are running these wet conditions. As now, maybe the attacking towards turn number 10 is going to happen with Charlie. Keki on the back of Bunty as well, looking quite interesting. I think Bunty's got the quick straight line speed, though, running up the hill into turn number 10. And Charlie still cannot find a way through on Papine, who's still in third.
Yeah, now, let's see, maybe Kek will go. No, I don't think we'll go for a move on his teammate, but yeah, let's see if Charlie maybe, if he can get Papine. And there's what?
Oh no, we've got a VSC glitch. Oh, for goodness sake, man! Oh my god.
I hope it's only for the sprint and not for the race.
If it's for the feature, I know for fun fact we're going to get Hawk in the commentary box telling us it's going to be red flags. If it is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's lap 6 out of 9. It's the second VSC of the night. Well, I think we're only going to get one more VSC potentially in this race. I mean, I was perplexed on the first one. It's a quicker second one this time. At least it's not a full lap like it was previously. Oh, just when you think you've seen it all, this happens. Macho leads, name changes second. Papine in third, Charlie in fourth. By the way, good evening to everyone that is tuning in. As Bunty picks up a 3-second penalty for corner cut out of turn number 4. Bunty there on the Charlie there on the back of Papine's looking again, coming out of turn 6 and 7. He's not close enough, I think, onto the Mistral straight. But Papine there in third, Charlie there in fourth, doing a fantastic job. We all lap 6 out of 9, and this is where the conditions would change if it would be a full 27-lap race. It would be around this point where we would get intermediate conditions out on track. And you can see, actually, with the rain just beginning to line up slightly as Bunty nearly goes for a spin on the inside curve. That is Keki through, and he's into sixth. Bunty spins on that inside curve.
Losing a lot of positions.
His water.
And with that penalty as well, he will fall out of the points. Because it was top 8 who have points, right? So.
Let me check. I will get the point system up wherever it is because the Discord is a nice eyesore to look through. I can't find it anywhere. It'd probably be in the rules. As that Waterman's going side by side with Bunty, coming out the left-hander turn number 12. Just about gets the job done. Bunty's really struggling.
Ahead. Yeah, Bunty. Yes. Oh, and there goes Chippy as well. Can you go for a switch back here maybe, or around the outside with Bunty?
Still there. No, Bunty's got the traction. Bunty got the traction on the exit of the corner, through Pont at turn 15, and now is through, and he's into P8 and remains that way in P8 out on track. A point system, by the way, it is the normal format, and you are correct, it is going to be the sprint format. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the point system for the sprint. So it is the top 8, and Bunty would be out of the points, and actually in the top 10 still, but he'd be 10th as it stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macho leading the way, 4.5 seconds. Charlie again on the back of Papine. He just can't get the run, coming through 6 and 7. It's a bit of his Achilles heel at this stage, as Keki's now got an absolute motor on the back of Davidenko, I should say, to the outside line. Tell you what, he pulls this off. Brilliant move. Fantastic stuff from Keki around the outside, gets the job done. I think Chippy's just sold the dummy as well. On Bunty, got the job done, but Bunty's coming back at him, coming in towards turn number 10 perhaps. Has got good straight line speed in the Mercedes. So I think the Red Bull, is just going to hold on, but Bunty will get a good run coming out of turn number 10, but in the end can't get that run. And Chippy there in 8th, Bunty there in 9th, Charlie still on the back of a Pine, but that was a well-worked move by Keki. I mean, we restarted for him, and he put a setup on, but that was a fantastic move from Keki to go around the outside in full wet conditions in France. Takes some doing, and this is why he's regarded as one of the top, and this is why, as well, he is an F1 Esports Challengers man, as a reserve, I believe, for PS. Which is
I didn't even know that. I thought it was only name changer, what Evil Zook said 100 times the last 3 weeks.
Has he been stealing that from me, by any chance?
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I mean, it's not copyrighted for him to use, but yeah, I'll allow him to use it as Charlie is on the back of the pine. But again, coming through this first sector, Charlie really struggles. It's his Achilles heel, I think, out on track. He's taken the braking points absolutely perfectly, don't get me wrong. But Papine there in third, Charlie in fourth, Keki there in fifth. At the minute, Papine looks like he's got Charlie's measure, and Charlie just needs to find a run out of these 2 corners to get a run on Papine, because Papine is there for the taking.
Yeah, Papine is... Or yeah, Charlie is just at the end of the lap, he's closing in, but just in sector 1 he's losing to, and there's, Bunty crashed, and his wing he has damage, and he will fall behind Bobble and Sen now.
Yep, Ballboy in 10th and 11th. Bunty there in 12th as well, doing a good job. Bunty, of course, with that right side end plate damage, I think that you reported on there. Ballboy is on the back of Sen, the F2 man on the back of the F1 man. Let's see what the 3 times FRL champion can do. 2 of them were, honestly, a little bit of a fluke, I think, from Ballboy's perspective. Because A, he had no competition, and B, I was racing him there. So no wonder he had it as a fluke. But Ballboy in 11th, doing a good job. He is on the back of Sen, and there is Bunty bar damage, right to them plate damage on the cars. We go on to the final lap. This race has actually gone on by quite quick as Keki, right on the back now. Charlie all of a sudden. 4th and 5th position, looks towards the inside line. I thought it was going to look to the inside line through 15. The rain is easing off at the end of the race, as I think the weather had predicted before we, of course, restarted. Keki there on the back of Charlie, not going to get the move done, but he is going to be close, down in towards turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, let's see maybe if Charlie has again not a good first sector, Keki can get him on the straight. Because we know Charlie is not really quick in the first sector, and if Keki gets a good exit, then he might get a chance to overtake Charlie.
Yeah, he might do. Charlie, again, through this first sector, looks like he is under pressure completely from Keki in behind. Keki, of course, with his dry setup on, or we think a dry setup on. He's on the back of Charlie, and look at him. He's beginning to mow him down now, down the Mistral straight. He's coming very close to the back of the Aston Martin. Looks towards the outside
again,
line now.
Again, the same move maybe as on David, around the outside.
Oh, beautiful on the brakes. He doesn't get the car stopped this time around, though. Charlie's going to be back around, and Keki, to be fair, gives him room. Gives him complete room there to the right-hand side. Charlie back through.
No, I don't think Keki will get him.
He might, into turn 10, through turn 11.
Or maybe he's really close, maybe on the last straight, if he is a lot quicker. Keki can get sort of a different line to... Oh my god, and he almost spun, so he has to look out for that as well.
Yeah, here comes Macho though, coming through the final couple of corners. The sprint race is going to go the way of Macho. Ballboy, by the way, overtook Sen after a mistake further down the field. He's up into 10th position. Macho though to the line, absolutely dominant. Wins. He was called the king of qualifying. He's now called the king of France.
And he sets the fastest lap as well, even though you don't get a point. Name changer in 2nd. Fine.
How's the gap 7.1 seconds at the end of the race? That's mad. Oh, huge crash.
Huge crash. After the line.
Yeah, Ballboy, by the way, coming across the line to finish in 10th. He'll be keeping his own point, I'm absolutely sure. He'll probably pick that up as a point for him in his own private standings. And then in the end, 10 and 11th, Bunty there and 12th. Bunty did recover well and actually stayed out there with the damage. But in the end, there was only one man that was going to take the race win, and that man was, as Keki gets dragged today, awarded by the in-game fans, that man is Macho, who takes the top step of the podium, 7.1 seconds clear of name change of the former F1 Esports Challengers man. We have no podium celebration actually for the sprint, but we will run through the point scoring and indeed the full grid order from that race. Macho wins from name changer in 2nd, Pine there in 3rd, Charlie there in 4th, Keki there in 5th, Davidenko in 6th, Waterwell in 7th, Bobby there in 8th. They all pick up the points in the end. Chippy in 9th, Ballboy in 10th, Sen 11th. Bunty, what could have it been? He would have been in the points, I think, if he didn't pick up A, that 3-second penalty, and B, that spin. Down in 12th, Zayo in 13th, Cobra Bolo there in 14th, and then Sevilla Flair there down in 15th position, getting disqualified rather than DNF out of the race for not being in the lobby. But it's Macho out on top, name changer alongside him on the front row of the grid. What does name changer have to do now, Ivo, on the back of Macho down and towards turn number 1, especially now it's a dry race?
Yeah, I think if name changer, I think he will know from himself if he has the pace to attack Macho, but yeah, I think he has to go for it in turn 1, and then he just has to try and defend from Macho if Macho is again that quick as in the sprint race. But yeah, we will see what will happen at the start. So I think name changer, if he gets a good start, then he will definitely go for it in turn 1.
Yeah, we will definitely see that for sure, and hopefully we don't have a VSC glitch in this race either, because it will be the death of me, and absolutely guaranteed of that at the end of tonight. Ballwood, by the way, said in the chat as well, he got taken out by Bolo. That's what we caught on the stream. Bolo did let him through. Ballboy was ahead at the time, and in the end finished ahead of Bolo. Bolo, I think, retired into the pit lane. Don't think anything will happen with that, so Ballboy, I think, is in the clear with regards to that incident potentially there down in P10, because Bolo purely let him through with good sportsmanship out on track, which is what we like to see. As, interestingly, CPI Chippy, normally a one for going on a rogue strategy. He's the one in the set of medium compounder tires. Everyone else on this formation lap and at the start of this race starting on a set of hard compounder tires, which is probably the better tire to be on, actually.
Yeah, I think they have only one set of mediums now because of the sprint with... Oh, and Bobby.
Oh.
But I'm not sure because... Yeah, it was rain, but normally you get only now one set of hards and mediums, but... Yeah, if you have two sets of mediums, then maybe it's the right decision. Depends on if there's going to be a safety car. But if there's no safety car, I think the hard will be the better car to start on, especially because it matters where you finish in the end and not where in the first few laps. So yeah, we'll see at the end of the race if the strategy worked for Chippy or not.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Chippy, honestly, short term, he is going to be the quickest guy out on track. But I've commentated around here in France in this game cycle before, and Chippy there in 9th, those tyres will go off around lap 8, lap 9, from around that point, and once you hit that wall, once you hit that cliff almost with the tyres, and take it over the edge, they will really, really begin to wear out on track, and Chippy has got to be aware of that. If he's good on his tyres, he can stand a chance of going beyond the halfway stage and then going on the same strategy as everyone else around him. But he's got to be wary as well. Guys potentially ahead of him behind, coming in earlier than him, and then that threat of the undercut later on.
Yeah, of course. Oh, that is fun. Yeah, of course, if he will pit earlier and he will get the armor out, but as well in the end, though, if he is on the hard and everyone else is on the mediums and he gets decent pace and not losing too much time, maybe he can gain places back at the end because his mediums then are as well not really fast as they were at the beginning, and then maybe Chippy's hards are gonna be better. But yeah.
Here come the 5 red lights. We'll take from name changer's perspective. It is, I hope, gonna be eventually. I hope. Lights out, away we go. Name changer gets a fantastic goal. Look at Charlie. Look at Charlie with a fantastic start. Takes 2 of them in towards turn number 1, and here comes Keki and Name Changer side by side as well. Name Changer's been quite absolutely napping for Pine to the inside line. The turn number 1 gets the job done. Chippy there is already up to 7th, passing Bobby and Davidenko further down the field. Bolo, by the way, I didn't see leave the session. He's disqualified along with Seville of Flair. Bullboy side by side with Bunty as well further down the field. Bunty not sticking the nose in up to the inside line. Bullboy is though to the inside line. A Sen coming through turn 6 and 7 for the first time. Ballboy's still on the inside line. Bunty falls out wide. Charlie's gone for a spin. Charlie has gone for a spin in the wall. I'm not sure if he's
Charlie damage. Third, I think. Oh my god.
Yeah, turn number 7 and 3 wide. Yeah, 3 wide. There go Ballboy, Bunty. In the end, Bunty's ahead of them. Bunty goes deep in towards the apex there of 8 and 9.
Zero now can get a switchback on Ballboy.
It's a phenomenal switchback.
Zero, and he goes down the inside and takes the 11 Ballboy, and now Watermelon gets overtaken by Chippy on the mediums.
Oh, Bobby gets caught on the outside curb as well. He's gone for a spin, and there's contact with Sen. Sen's sent off. Sen is off. Bobby is off as well, and Bobby had that caught on the curb. If Sen wasn't there, there would have been the contact would have been completely avoided there.
And Bobby makes contact with Charlie as well. He rejoined really dangerous with Chippy. Let's see if he can follow this top 4 guys, because and again a yellow flag and Bobby spun again.
Yeah, Bobby spun again, down in 13th. Chippy there on the back of Keki's had a phenomenal start. He's getting 4 positions off the start. Yeah, Sen I think is into the pit. I'm not sure if he picked up damage.
When he retires, and we only have Bobby, I think will retire as well. I hope not. I think it's...
Yeah, I have a feeling he will. I think Sen had side pod damage, if I'm not mistaken.
And we only have 11 drivers left now.
11 drivers left, and it's a little bit of a who's who out on track so far. Charlie there further down the field after that spin, coming out of turn number 7. That was separate. Sen and Bobby, by the way, what I was explaining there. Bobby on the right-hand side curb, on the left-hand side curb, got caught on the outside curb. If Sen wasn't there, the contact would have been avoided. Bunty side by side with Davidenko running up the straight in towards turn number 8 and 9.
Can he go around the outside just like his teammate did on David in sprint? No, with the switchback maybe. Gets a better exit, he gets a lot.
Chippy's going for spin.
And Chippy, and he has no wing anymore, so maybe this will be a safety car.
Bunty doesn't care about a safety car though, if there is going to be one. He's still on Davidenko, but to be fair, Davidenko's coming back. Oh, to the inside out of 11. They're side by side, coming out of 11 at Bolsay. Davidenko and Bunty still side by side. Zero's getting the box side team in behind as well to try and counteract if there's any contact between these both. But look at these guys, giving each other so much room. Bobby's left the session.
David getting around the outside, almost in the pit, just like the rest. And Science can David stay ahead.
Oh, Zero's going to have a fantastic run as well.
And Zero now, and Zero can P7. David blocks him in the slipstream. Bunty has no ERS as well. Zero moves up to P7 now.
Nice move. Yeah. Nicely done. Nice battle that as well between Bunty and Davidenko. That was phenomenal racing. Watermelon has gone for spin through turn number 1.
Has gone as well. A lot of spins here.
I mean, that's what you come to expect. In France, they're always like this. The curbs are so deadly around this track. Chippy's in the pit lane for front wing change. The curbs are so deadly around this track, they will catch you out. As Name Changer's going to catch Papine to the exit line down the Mistral straight, takes second position off him. Looney's into second, Papine there in third, Keki there in fourth, doing a good job as Name Changer there in second, Papine there in third, and now 1.8 seconds to the back of Macho is the key to the throne.
Chippy's spun out of the pit.
Oh dear. Oh no. And he's going, he's literally cut across the white line as well. But I don't blame him. If he has spun out the pit lane, then that can be avoided. Has he picked up some wing damage as well?
No, he hasn't. No.
Just on cold tyres, I think. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference between mediums and hards, and especially because he picked up that front wing damage. He went on that to the hards. The hards are literally like ice when you get onto them around this track. And Chippy got caught out by that. Zero there in 6th on the back of Bunty. Race is not entirely exciting early on. Well, it has been for a few drivers further down the field. But Macho there leading the way. Name Changer in 2nd. Pine there in 3rd with Keki 4th. Bunty there in 5th. He's under pressure from Zero. He's not going to get the job done in towards turn number 1. I could be wrong though. He's not going to be close enough, I don't think, in towards turn number 1. Bunty there in 5th, Zero in 6th. Then Davidenko, Ballboy, Watermelon and Charlie. Ballboy somehow get themselves on the points after the first couple of laps of the race. Chippy there down 11th after that front wing change, after that spin out the pit lane as well. And he is nearly 3/4 of a lap down on the leader, which is Macho, who leads by 1.5 seconds. Myself and Ivo taking to the stream. Macho leads from Name Changer 2nd, Pine there in 3rd. Keki there in 4th, doing a good job at this stage on track, as we had somebody joining.
Yeah.
The who was that joining in?
Bobby,
who clearly realises that we are still commentating, I hope.
Yeah.
If there's interviews on that Florida 27, that's a new one on me. Macho leads from Name Changer in 2nd, Papine there in 3rd. Azale there on the back of Bunty is not looking too bad at all. He's on the back there of him, in towards the right-hander now of turn number 10, then toward the right-hander of turn number 11 at this stage. But Bunty now under pressure from Zero. Zero trying to hassle him, trying to somehow find a way through on Bunty. Bunty, to be fair, had a very good straight line speed in the wet. In the drives, oh my god, as Zero goes for a huge spin, coming out of turn number 11 at Bolsay. Well recovered, my friend, but let's put him on the back foot.
What a C from him, almost. Yeah, I think if he hit the wall there, it will be game over for him, because he went with a huge speed going towards the wall, but he kept it out of the wall. Really good. But now he is under pressure from David, maybe, if you can close on to him.
Yeah, that was honestly Charles Leclerc-esque, apart from Charles Leclerc hitting the wall, is the best description, I think, of that going through turn 11. Phenomenal save, and Zero, to be fair, these guys are the best here in FRL. They don't recover from mistakes like that too often, but when you do, it is very, very good. And Zero actually is really trying to hassle the back of Bunty, but he's putting himself in a position where, as you mentioned there, Davidenko's only 6/7 away. He's gaining on him as well. The Spaniard has got more ERS than him. So surely Davidenko's going to get the job done when, not if.
Yeah, depends on if Zero still has DRS, because yeah, I think with 610s it's really far, but especially if he also has ERS. Even though ERS is really powerful, this game maybe even better than ERS, but yeah.
And Papine trying to get on the back of Name Changer as well. Name Changer doing a good job. Of course, the former F1 Esports Challengers guys, alongside, of course, the current F1 Esports Challengers reserve in Keki. Sev told me there in the Discord that apparently he is first reserve for tomorrow night. So if somebody drops out late, Keki will be first reserve for tomorrow night in F1 Esports Challengers, where you've caught the likes of Talent Factory Blackbox, Shazoo Jensen in there, Shazoo Tom, many, many names that you've seen here in FRL before are going to be there for F1 Esports Challengers.
So
Unfortunately, I'm
yeah.
not there.
Yeah, is that live or not on the channel?
Yes, it is. It is. I think it's 7 o'clock if I'm not mistaken. It's a LAN event. It's LAN
On
ran.
what
So,
channel?
I think it's the F1 Twitch if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think it is. I saw George Morgan talking about it a little bit earlier on. I will have a look and double check that it is live. I think now for the Xbox guys, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second. I will have a look at that. But Macho leads. Then name changer in
Yeah.
second. Behind them, Davidenko though on the back of Zero again. More rest than them. He's not going to go for the move now. Second half of the race is probably going to be more entertaining than the first half. But Davidenko there on the back of Zero, 6th and 7th position, and he looks as if he's going to get the job done probably sooner rather than later. I think maybe even on the back of Bunty as well.
Yeah. David has good pace around France for now. And Bonti, yeah, he can't get away from Zero and David, so yeah, and he also doesn't have a lot of ERS. Zero has nothing left, and David has something to play with as Chippy gets 3 seconds, even though he's really far behind those guys.
Yeah, and just to confirm as well about challenges, it is on the F1 Twitch. So if you do want to watch that, it's on the Formula One Twitch channel. And I can tell you, because I'm just logging into Twitch there now, Xbox, I think, is live. I've very much fortunately had the absolute privilege of commentating on most of these guys for WOR. So these guys are absolutely fantastic at what they do on Xbox side. They've been mixing it with the PS guys as well for cosplay, been doing a fantastic job, and yeah, the Xbox guys are going to really thrive. 914 people, by the way, watching that. I think there's only 6 here in FRL, but I don't mind.
Yeah, but they're not, if they win that, they're not going to esports, or I don't understand it, because if you win that tournament or something, you don't go to F1 esports, right? Or on PC, or are you then?
I think Zero catches the curb there on the inside curve.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, it is Pro Exhibition they get into. So they get into Pro Exhibition, and the teams then go on a bit of a scouting hunt, if you like, and they literally go and find out of the class who qualify from challengers. They get put, of course, in the main F1 esports teams.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and with the likes of Jensen and then Tom, as I say, for the PS side, Black Box in there. There's so many drivers I've commentated on. Honestly, it's beyond belief. I think how many it makes me feel old. I think in the commentary box being here in FRL. Watermelon, by the way, we're gonna cut into that because Bullboy is there in under pressure from Watermelon. Watermelon on the back there in 9th position. Bullboy there in 8th, doing a good job, I've got to say, as Watermelon there in 9th. I believe round 1 is just beginning, by the way, for challenges as well. I've just got that up on the stream. But Macho, name changer, 1.6 seconds. Watermelon on the back of Ballboy, trying to recover from that mistake. He's on the back of Ballboy, and he's going to give him a good fight down in towards turn 1 here.
Yeah, let's see if he can make the move or not. He's going, I think, for it. Yeah, down the inside of Ballboy, and he moves up to P8. But can Ballboy maybe make a switch? No, he can't.
Yeah, confident out, but he's got 38% of EOS, so that 38% of EOS is going to really, really help him. Because actually, he's lagging there slightly on my end. Hopefully, not too serious. It might just be a Ballboy thing. Might be his GTA coming back to haunt him, I think. Ballboy on the back of Watermelon, 8th and 9th position. Charlie, to be fair, is actually catching these guys as well. He's not going to be too far out of this.
Yeah, maybe Charlie, after a good start, he spun on lap 1 and he has to make those places back, but he's catching up slowly to for now Ballboy, and Chippy is in the pits, and I hope he's not going to retire. He's going to the softs.
Fastest lap
Maybe
attempt?
maybe he'll go for fastest lap and then he will retire or something. Because I don't
Oh,
understand otherwise why he would go for the source now.
I've just realised, by the way, we've had no game set in the whole race. Apologies. There we are. Macho leads. Name changes second. Papine there in third. It's very difficult, I think, being a commentator and trying to look at F1 esports and everything like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, what happened there, I think, was when we went back into a different slide, I think, it muted my Capcom, which is absolutely fantastic. But there we go. You should hear the game sound now. Apologies about that if nobody has been shouting at me for the last 10 minutes saying, turn your game sound on, James, you absolute idiot. Bunty and Zero, 5th and 6th position. This is looking quite close. TPI have got very good drivers, obviously, in their team. Bunty and Zero being two of them here in FRL. And they're doing a fantastic job. There's a yellow flag, and that is name change around.
Oh, name changer.
Six.
The championship. Oh, yeah, the championship leader from second to P4 now, and Keke now moves up to third, and Pine to second. So two analog guys are doing really well now. For now, a double podium, and one just spun from second place. And Macho, I think, really likes it that he spun because now he is, I think, 1 or 2 points only behind name changer. So I think if he can just get a checkered flag now, I think we'll be really happy with that because he's gaining a lot of points now on name changer.
Yeah, if Name Changer, by the way, drops to 5th, they're going to be level on points. So if Name Changer, it's, I think, 2 points now, the gap between Name Changers. Name Changer will still be out in front of the championship. It's 2 points as it stands right now out on track on lap 9 out of 27. And yeah, Name Changer, with that spin, it's a very rare, uncharacteristic spin, if I've got to be honest, but it's the nature of the track. The nature of the beast here in France, it catches the curb. You get caught in that curb, you spin. Name Changers found that out the hard way. Charlie as well on the back of Ball Boys looking interesting further down the field. 62% of ERS, Charlie. Goodness me, use it up for goodness sake. You've got Ball Boy in your back pocket. On the back down in towards turn number 1, but he's not going to get the job done here. Macho leads Pie in second, Keki there in third, and the NLR F1 Esports Challengers man there in third. Then the former F1 Esports Challengers man, of course, Keki there in third. Doing a fantastic job. He is first reserve for tomorrow, and do you know what? He's going to prove this now and prove his racecraft by going past Papine to the inside line, down in towards the chicane Nord. Yeah. Job done, and Keki through needs into second.
Yeah, great move by Keke, and now let's see maybe if he can catch up to Macho because the gap is only 2 seconds, and he has a lot more ERS left. So now he's using it. So I think he will push away from Papine and try to get into the DRS of Macho, and then try and on to the race win.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds. As long as he gets within, he needs to use up the ERS, I think. If he wants to get within DRS range this lap around, which I don't think he is, I think he needs to use up his ERS just going out of every single corner, just to try and gain a little bit of time out. But I think Keki's plan is clear. Get ahead Papine, try and get an overcut going, and pit in a little bit earlier than what Papine is planning to do there in third. That's what I think's going to happen. But I've been wrong in the past. Chippy, by the way, sets the new fastest lap of the race. They're down in 11th position. Macho, 1.5 seconds leading the way. But Keki, the F1 Esports Challenger man, the reserve, I should say, for F1 Esports Challengers, he's there in second. 1.2 seconds. He's not going to be far off DRS this lap.
For one on Chippy, get 3-second penalty as well. So, yeah, will he get the DRS? He's for now. Oh, and he gets the one. I think that. Let's see. Now, for now, not. I don't know where the detection point is. I think.
Detection point is there. There it is. And he's 1.2 seconds behind. Yeah.
The Papine is in it, and he goes right Papine, and he takes out. Oh, no, not. I thought he took out the DRS bar, but now, and maybe Charlie, he should maybe get past Ballboy soon because he should be as F1 driver faster than Ballboy. And oh, Papine gets a 3-second penalty, and Bunty as well. So I think we will see now the first penalties coming in as we're in a few laps at the half of the race.
Yeah, Bunty there, both out of the chicane, by the way, where they picked their 3-second penalties. Bunty on the exit of turn number 9, I think the fine was actually on the inside curb at turn number 9, where he picked up his 3-second penalty. So slightly different, but same track limits extensions for them both. Charlie there on the back of Ballboy, 9th and 10th position still out on track. Keki, by the way, is now within DRS range on the back of Macho, and this is good from, I think, Macho's perspective more than Keki, because Keki's used up all of his battery. Macho has saved up a tiny amount, but it's just enough to try and just let Keki in for a bit of a false sense, let him get within the DRS range, but then begin to pull away again. And this is what Macho was so good at doing in his races.
Yeah, first time as well. I think we will see battle for the lead, because the other races just were a lot of battles in the midfield, but not for the race win. So now you will see it, I think, because yeah, he's in A10s now, and you get DRS for the first time on Mistral Straight.
Yep, within DRS range. And there it is, flicks open. There is the DRS section zone open, and the DRS wing flapping there in the breeze as we run down in towards the chicane node once again. Keki there on the back. Chippy's gone for spin.
Chippy.
Yep, Chippy's gone for spin. That's coming now just in front of the guys actually through the chicane. On the exit of the chicane, so Chippy letting everyone through. He's now a lap down. Pretty much as literally saw something in the background going on. I think it was Davidenko on the back of Zavo. They were nearly side by side, I think. In towards turn number 10.
With ERS in with Zero has no ERS, so...
Through turn 11?
Maybe Ronnie also do a switch back here.
Yeah, this is it. Inside line. Oh, he gets caught on the inside curb. He's going to be there on the inside, but Zavo's not going to make it easy. And Davidenko, if he made that move, there would have been contact there, quite simply.
Yeah.
Davidenko in 7th. Ball boy as well. Charlie side by side.
Well. Sort of a switch back. No, well, way too much for the exit.
Yeah, can't find that move. Can't find that move for now, but doing a good job. Keki, they're still on the back of Macho. They've now, look at the gap to Papine that they've pulled. 2.5 seconds to Papine. And yeah, Papine's got a 3-second penalty. Keki and Macho, though, are just different level around this track. They are beginning to pull away effortlessly, using them a bit of ERS, but this is going to get tactical now between Macho and Keki, as Charlie's going to make the move on Ballboy finally in towards turn 1. He took his time in getting the move done. Charlie doing his into 9th. Ballboy there in 10th. Very easy move in the end. Ballboy doesn't want to fight that whatsoever. Ballboy being very clean, I've got to say, on his F1 return tonight. Macho there from Keki in 2nd. Keki, though, on the back of Macho. And at this stage, no pit stops just yet from the hard runners. I would suspect somebody's going to pull the trigger this lap.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Who would be? Well, maybe.
Name changer, I think, or Bunty.
Yeah.
If it's one of them two, if it's one of them two, if it's name changer, it'll spark a reaction from Papine. But if it's somebody like Keki, that will have to spark a reaction for Macho and everyone else in behind. So the match is about to be lit, quite literally, in terms of this race. As that speaking of the match being lit, Davidenko's on the back of Zavo once again to try and spark that battle into life. But nobody into quick lane just out at the front too. Papine isn't. Name changer isn't either. Bunty coming around the final couple
and
of corners.
Davidenko, oh, and Zero, let's see, maybe, I think Zero, yeah, Zero, the teammate from Name Changer will be the first man to
yeah.
come into the pitch, and
look at his front right.
It's from Zero.
Yeah, front right on Zero, blistering right down the middle of the tyre. So them are absolutely cooked. So no surprises in.
Yeah, and let's see, we'll go to the mediums, of course, and oh, there's no Haas book, so they're lost in the. Yeah. And yeah, Macho and Kick are still really close to each other.
Gap, by the way, coming out of the pit lane, Zable 37 seconds behind the leader, but the gap in relation to him and Bunty is around 25 seconds. The gap between himself and Name Changer is around 30 seconds coming out on track. So that is what you're going to have to look at in terms of the gaps between the leader out on track at this stage. A fast start currently is Chippy, by the way, so he's getting that fast lap point. He is in the top 11 as it stands. Still 11 drivers going out on track. I'm trying to find my way now around the graphics once again because I've just totally forgot which one I was on. Intervals, that is. Macho, Keki there leading the way. One of these two is going to pull the trigger soon. Which one is it going to be? Not this lap around though. They're going to be still.
Should be another 2 seconds. See, it's not Name Changer. Maybe Bunty.
Bunty, let's see.
Yeah,
Bunty's in. Yeah. He was losing time as well on Name Changer that lap, so I'm not sure if we made a mistake somewhere. But Bunty in the pit lane. This is going to spark reaction from everyone in behind. And this is a relatively long pit lane. I think it's the 4th or 5th
And
longest
Charlie
pit
as
lane.
well will go in.
Yep, Charlie's in as well. So Charlie both in, along with Bunty. What I was about to say there, I think, is Bunty. This is about the 4th or 5th longest pit lane, I think, on the F1 calendar. Bar, I think, Azerbaijan is one. Belgium is one of the shortest. Silverstone is up there as well. But yeah, it is a very interesting one indeed. I'm looking at the Challenger stream, by the way, and I've just realised my good old co-commentary friend, Mr. Kieran McGinley, is doing it again this year. Which is fantastic. But Dave there on the back of Bunty. Nobody cares, I think, about F1 Esports Challengers. They all care about F1, FRL F1. Keki on the back of Macho, leading the way. And this battle is beginning to get rather tactical, as I mentioned. And Keki, to be honest there, Ivo, 32% of EOS, Macho on 16. All looking like it is in Keki's favour right now.
Yeah, Keke just saving up ERS, and I think he is also just faster. And I think maybe Macho or Keke will come in now in his lap, or maybe a hard soft, which I'm not gonna see happen. Let's see if someone. Yeah, they're both going into the pit.
Oh, and Keki's gone wide. Keki goes wide on the entrance into the pit lane. I think it was a mistake more than anything else. Yeah, I was on board with that.
Oh, name changer.
5-second penalty.
Yeah, but I think yes, they're both going in. I think Keke just got scared of Macho because he didn't expect Macho to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if Macho reacted later than Keki. Keki was always going to do it, but he made a mistake. And I think Macho was then made a reactionary mistake with him in front, and Keki in behind has obviously followed him, but he's followed him over the track limits. That is going to be interesting. If that gets looked into by the stewards, there's a spinner. Who is that? That is Chippy, I think, again, yeah. CPI man round once again. Chippy, maybe off to the chip shop after this. Oh my god, he nearly rejoins right in front of Davidenko. Thank goodness for the ghosting system there. But Keki now all of a sudden, after that mistake coming in the pit lane, which was visible because we caught that on my end anyways and on the stream, Keki's now 1.5 seconds behind a Macho.
Yeah, he lost time with that mistake.
Yeah, and more yellow flags. Is that Chippy round again?
Yeah.
It's predictable. It's predictable, I think, at this point. There he is, left-hand side, just coming out of camera shot. Macho there, and Keki, 4th and 5th position. They're doing a good job, I've got to say, out on track. Zayo's got a 3-second penalty. Yeah, 3-second penalty. I think that's out of the chicane. Penalties are, by the way, if you are wondering, 3 for Papine, 3 for Davidenko there. You have to come in the pit lane. Name change has got 5 seconds. Might get removed if he feels like he's beyond track limits. Yep, Chippy's gone round again further down the field. He might be 2 laps down by the time we get to the end of this race. Name change there with 5 seconds, as I mentioned. Bunty there on 3. Zabel there on 3. Chippy there on 9. He may as well come and retire in the pit lane because his race is done, my friend. There's Macho there on the back of Watermelon's looking interesting. 3rd and 4th position currently out on track. And Keki all of a sudden, Macho... I think he's easing off down the straight. Maybe to let Keki back within DRS range. This is very tactical as Ballboy's going for spin.
Yeah.
Or slight moment there, I think, from him. But yeah, Keki, I'm on board with the battle for the net lead of the race at the minute. There's another yellow flag. That's Chippy round again. About the 10th time he's spun in this lap so far.
New master spin. But maybe he'll keep going because if one DNF, then he gets a point, but I don't know why
Here's Macho on the back of Watermelon. Keki might get through on this as well. I think he'll be too far back. He might get in the second half from his straight, but Macho's Booney's into 3rd. Now puts Watermelon between himself and Keki, but Keki gets a phenomenal run. There is a VSC out on track, and that is going to harm Watermelon, I think, more than anyone else, because I think, if the VSC is out, and I hope it is out because of a it is because of a legitimate thing, because Chippy's also his front wing.
Yeah.
And then the VSC glitches might
be.
And
this will be, by the way, really good for Papine. Who is also coming into the pitch now because, and I think he will maybe. Is he joining as leader? Maybe.
They're sticking to deltas in behind. This is an absolute godsend for Papine. Davidenko not so much, but Papine. This has got this man right back in contention. Macho and Keki are coming out the final corners. If it doesn't go green flag racing now, I think regardless, Papine's going to rejoin, maybe in third, but they're sticking the deltas in behind. This is going to be close. Papine on the run toward the line. There's Macho, there's Keki, and Papine's ahead of Keki coming out the pit lane. Would you believe it?
Oh,
no! He gets a drive through. No, and he's been overtaken by Keki, and he goes for a spin. It's all gone up in threes for him.
No.
Coming through turn number 1. Papine. Oh, everything was perfect. First thing that happened. Speed under the speed under the safety car, drive-through penalty for him. Then he's gone on the inside curb and been overtaken by Keki, and then he's gone for a spin on that inside curb, and then lost the position to Name Changer. Things come in threes sometimes. That's about as unlucky as you'll get.
Yeah, I think I know what I maybe went with red Delta into the pit, and then after he came out, it just went green when he just went out of the pit, so there was no chance to avoid it. And Chippy itself again, and he spun again, and he lost his wing now.
And that is through turn number 10.
And he's a puncture. He has a puncture.
Well, ain't that all softs? No. Oh, unless he's ran over some of his own front wing.
Right rear, and now he completely, and he stopped.
Oh, he's gonna have to wait a bit because there's cars coming through this part of the track. At least he's doing the I was gonna say
joining when it's... and he's not waiting for his own teammates. So.
No, doesn't care about Davidenko. May as well throw him under a bush, I think, at this point. Name Changer and Papine. Papine's into pit lane for that drive-through penalty. And as I say, oh, that was a lovely camera angle, by the way, coming in the pit lane. First time I've ever had that on this game. Different camera angle for Papine in the pits. And this will be for a drive-through penalty to be served. And
Chippy crashed into the pit, and now I think he will retire.
Yeah. Not surprised. Not surprised he's out the race.
Boy will get points in F1 for now.
He will. And he'll actually be in, he'll be in 9th. No, he'll be in 10th still, because Papine just came out of the pit lane. Keki and Macho, by the way. Here comes Keki on the back of Macho. And he's not going to get the job done. He's just going to wait in behind on the back of Macho. This race has really, really opened up, actually, over the past few laps or so. Macho and Keki leading the way. That VSC, I think, really brought a change up in the race and has really brought a change to the lead, because Macho and Keki, they were in the lead anyways. Keki was off the pace slightly to Macho before that VSC came out. Now, he's a 10th and a half behind and right on the back of him coming through Bose at turn 11.
Yeah, I think... Keki will get him this lap maybe, but... Oh no, they both have a lot of ERS now, 30%. It was a lot more before the VSC. Yeah, let's see, Keke needs to... Yeah, don't wait until the last lap, because that's really risky. Because if Macho saved off a lot of ERS, which he won't know then yeah, he can't win it anymore. But let's see when Keke will make a move, because he's definitely quicker than Macho. This whole race already, but let's see when he can get ahead of Macho or just try and attack him. Yeah.
Chippy apologising, by the way, in the Discord, saying, sorry for causing the VSC, but I got a puncture and hit the wall. So that is why he got that VSC, and he lost the front wing, I think, well before that puncture, actually. So, yeah, VSC deployed just before that point, but I think it was more the front wing more than anything else. But yeah, Macho leads the way, Keki in second. This battle is fascinating now between the top two. And Keki, of course, being the first reserve tomorrow night for F1 Esports Challenges, which, by the way, I hope you are going to be watching, as I will be, certainly watching on my night off tomorrow. The F1 Esports Challenges, guys, with Jensen and Tom, as I say, the former FRL alumni, in that race. Going to be an interesting one, but what is interesting now is Keki is on the back of Macho, hassling all over the back. Papine getting close to Charlie. Looks towards turn 11 there, Keki, but doesn't get the job done. Papine on the back of Charlie running down the straight and actually goes for the move in towards turn number 8. Charlie gives him right away the road, and Papine's doing his into 8th. Nice battle that, actually. Papine's doing his into 8th. Nice respect there by Charlie. Down at 9th. His race ended, I think, a few laps ago after that spin. Charlie there down at 9th. Bullboy there in 10th is still going, but is well off the pace compared to these guys out in front. Macho and Keki, though, still leading the way. This is fascinating, though, this battle. What, 7 laps to go?
Yes, I think, yeah. But is Macho driving on controller or not? Because I thought...
Wheel. I think
Oh,
they're
wheel.
both wheel.
Yeah, because Watermelon I know is on controller, and I thought he just did the same steering as him, but I got it wrong then.
Yeah, F1 Esports Challenges, by the way, Xbox side is underway. Rusty, Wilson, Choco, currently the top 3 as it stands on that 1 out of 29 in Bahrain. So if you do want to catch that, we will. Well, I was saying we could redirect you there, but we're not because it's on a different platform, and I think Paul will be very, very angry if I try to do that. But Keki on the back of Macho. Most of the guys, though, in that Xbox side I have commentated on in recent weeks, so I'm very glad to say that they are the best on Xbox, and they really deserve that chance, and hopefully everything goes well with that. But Keki on the back of Macho, here he comes once again through turn number 10, now through turn 11. Charlie's back here on Papine after spin.
And did he lost his wing or
No.
not? No.
Just spin. Turn 6, same as name change earlier on in the race.
Yeah.
Same as name change early on in the race, but yeah, Keki's still on the back of Macho. By the way, if I feel I've been ignoring you in the comment section, by the way, I haven't. I just haven't had the comment section up. So if you have been messaging us in the chat, I'm normally on the ball when it comes to this, but yeah, I am not on the ball whatsoever in terms of the comment section. And I mean, to be fair, thank you to the one person that is currently watching us right now. Thank you.
Yeah,
whoever you are, you're committed.
Yeah, whoever it is, say something in the comments so we know. And it's a yellow flag again. It's Papine who's gone.
That's through turn 11 again. So through turn 11, that's unfortunate from his perspective. And he's run off track again. And if I was in Papine's shoes, I'd maybe stick on a set of softs, try and see the fastest lap from, I think, Chippy at this stage. But he continues on. Fair play. He continues on. But the fastest lap there, with Chippy out of the race, is there for the taking for anyone to get, really.
Yeah, but, and, why are Fair and Wolo still in the pits and in level 1?
They got disqualified on my end.
and mine are still in the pits.
Yeah, they'll probably...
and Papine went off and he crashed.
Oh, no. And that is turn 2. Might be a safety car. It is a safety car.
This is really interesting for Watermelon and Ballboy maybe, because they haven't got a penalty, so for now, provisionally, Ballboy, after all the pistols, is in provisional P4. But name changer now can, by the way, serve his 5-second penalty, and then we can maybe have 3 people fighting for the lead.
Yeah, and Macho's in. Macho into the pits, Keki in the pits, and this is exactly what it's going to be. Set of soft compound tyres, I think, going on the cars, name changes into the pit lane. I think everyone will be in. Bar Bunty, I know for fine fact Bunty's probably going to stay out now. You watch. Bunty is into the pit lane. Typical.
Stero as well, and David, Watermelon as well.
Yeah, they're all in. Fair play. Set us off compound tyres, they may as well go on it towards the end of the race. And yeah, I mean, if I was Bunty, I may would have stayed out there on that set of medium compound tyres, because he has won a race in Abu Dhabi before. I think it was last season, the last ever commentary I did actually for FRL. He won. Bunty there in 4th. Yeah. Now has got high expectations on his shoulders because he's now in 4th. Behind Name Changer, behind Keki, behind Macho. Everyone now nullified. They're all back in contention. But Macho and Keki, though, before that safety car, looked absolutely dominant. And to be honest, I expect more of the same off the safety car restart, which will be in, I think, 2 laps time.
Yeah, I think, yes, the same as F2 yesterday. Was same lap, a safety car. But then, yeah, I think, then was lap later. But I think we will have lap, not in this lap. We have 3 laps of racing, I think, and then last lap DRS enabled.
Yeah, Macho, Keki, the name changer, currently the front 3. But everyone as well on penalties. Reminder of the penalties to the one person that is tuning in. 3 seconds for Bunty, 3 seconds for Zero, 3 seconds for Davidenko, 3 seconds for Charlie. As it stands, Ballboy, of course, at the back of the field will be picking up points as it stands out on track. And I've actually just clicked on. I think that one person in the chat. Actually, there's 3 of you now. As soon as I put the call out, there's 3 of you now in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm one of them. So hello to me there if you are watching this a little bit later on. But Macho leads, Keki second, Name Changer there in third. Lap 24 out of 27, 4 laps to go, Ivo. This is going to get pretty interesting out on track,
Yeah.
and drivers are going to fight for every single position.
Yeah, now we will see people taking more risks because it's the last few laps, and now if you haven't got great pace at the beginning or just had bad luck, now it's a chance to make it up to it because it's 3 laps, I think, of racing. And yeah, it's not a lot of laps, so you have to take more risk to take a better points, which we would. Yeah, we will see. I think the podium just will stay like this. I don't know in what order, but I think Watermelon can, yeah, get maybe a top 4 or top 5 because he has no penalties. And yeah, Ball Boy, maybe if there's a lot of battling going on, maybe he can gain 1 or 2 places of the penalties, which I will see what will happen in this last 3 laps.
Yeah, we will indeed see what happens in the last 3 laps of this race as it gets very, very dark. I'm sure wherever you live, as long as wherever I live
Yeah,
as well, it is getting very dark. I haven't got the lights on, by the way, in my room, so it is getting
yeah,
very
same.
much darker at this stage.
Yeah,
But Macho leads, Keki in second, Name Changer there in third. Now we're under that VSC, now under the safety car, of course. I am going to put my neck out on the line and say that the top 3 is going to be the top 3 as it remains, but in a different order. I think Keki's probably going to get the race win over Macho.
yeah, I think. Yeah.
And then Name Changer will finish in third. I think that will only be the swap. If anything else happens, I mean, it's FRL, anything can probably happen, and it usually does. But if it doesn't, then I think that'll be the top 3. Keki just looked quicker than Macho in the second half of the race, but now they're on a set of softs, they're nullified again, so Macho might be quicker than Keki.
Yeah. We'll see. I hope just a lot of battles going on with clean. But yeah, oh, a safety car by the way in this lap. So yeah, I hope just clean battles and maybe there's a fight for the win as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, we will see it.
Yeah, hopefully so. Macho there out on top. Keki in second, Name Changer in third, and now Macho is the virtual Bert Marlander. He is now the virtual safety car out on track, and he looks to try and get this race win and try and snatch it off Keki, who was right there. Remember, underneath the underneath the VSC before that came back in. He was all over the back. And Keki now is once again all over the back of Macho in a different form. The safety car is just beginning to wind its way towards the entrance into the pit lane. And Macho, I'm assuming, is going to go pretty early here. He'll go probably in between turns 13 and 14, I would suspect. He's backing up the pack very nicely. He'll be on the exit of this corner here, coming out of turn 12. And then he'll start ranking it up, I would think. Here we go.
Yeah.
Macho just about to rank up the pace, I think. Keki there in second. And there
Yeah,
he
he
goes.
goes.
Exactly where I said he might. He is gone. And Macho listens to me, which is good. Macho leads. Keki in second. Name Changer in third. And of course, they can't overtake until they get past the start-finish line.
Yeah, of course, that's, I think, really annoying for the people who had a good restart. But Keke at the back, he has now more straight line speed, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And let's see.
Down the straight, I was about to say, yeah, Keki on the back of Macho looked very much quicker than Macho, but 87% of ERS, Macho's on 84. They're both around the same level. Davidenko's on the back of Zero further down the field there as well. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Currently separated by around a second. Everyone's still within this big DRS train as well. Out on track with Macho. So good through the first sector. It's caught Keki on the bit of a hot foot. And now, Name Changer all of a sudden is beginning to get back into this. And the Finn cannot be ruled out on the back of his fellow countrymen. He's there in second. Keki, though, was so quick down the straight. Look at the speed that he's gaining down the straight visibly. 200 in excess of mile an hour. Down in towards turn number 8 and 9 at the Mistral, straight in towards the chicane Nord. And once again, Keki is on the power. And you know what? He might actually look for a move coming out of turn 10 into turn 11 here. This will be good if he can. But Keki on the back of Macho. Look at the run he gets compared to Macho. On the outside line, turn 11. I don't think he's going to get the job done. He switches it back to the inside line, puts him under pressure. But that's the first shot. That's the first shot. And he's warning them now. If that happens again... Yeah. It's all going to get feisty. And now the front two are being into qualification from Name Changer, who looks certain pretty much for third.
Yeah, I think Gekker, if he gets this up, he could have the race to win. Oh, Charlie, another penalty, but I think Name Changer just has to stay in third and hope maybe they collide or something, because I think Name Changer is just this race not quick enough to get the race win.
Yeah, they've really got to hope for that. Final 2 laps of the race here in FRL F1. Macho leads the way from Keki in second. Name Changer there in third, doing a good job as Name Changer. He's on the back. Keki, I should say, on the back of Macho as I'm on board. Name Changer is also gaining, by the way, on the back of Keki, which I think is why my mind completely went blank there. Bunty there in fourth, Zero there in fifth, doing a good job. But Macho, again, through these series of corners, Ivo, he is so quick coming out through turn 6 and 7. Puts now Keki completely under pressure once again. Name Changer on the back foot. But Keki down the straight responds, not using up any ERS, and look at the time he gains. He gains 0.3 of a second down the straight alone without using ERS. So what will it be like next lap around with ERS being used?
Yeah, I think, as well, Keki has lower wings than Macho, but I think he has to stay within, I think, 5 or 6 tenths. I think 5 tenths he can get a move because he has DRS then as well. But I think if it stays 7 tenths, then I don't think it's going to be enough, even though Macho has not as is a sitting duck on the straight against Keke, but he's so quick in the first sector that he gains that time what he needs for the straight. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the final lap. And Keke needs to gain time in the first sector, and then I think it's possible for him to win. And he needs to do that first.
This is going to be interesting. Final lap of the race begins, and now Macho actually burns on that ERS and burns on the DRS as well down the straight and towards turn number 1. He now takes 0.6 of a second out of Keki in towards turn number 1 and 2 at the chicane. Name Changer there in third, Bunty there in fourth, and a little bit wide there from Keki. He's just beginning to be put under pressure, but Macho has used up 24% of his ERS now. And Keki's gone very deep, and that's surely it. Keki goes so deep in towards turn 3, completely on the brakes, has absolutely outmullered himself there, and in the end, he's out of DRS range. Well. He is. Oh, is he? He is. He's out of DRS range, and that is it. That's
now it's going to be under pressure from Name Changer.
Yeah, and the two NLR boys, believe it or not, are going to fight it out for second and third, and this is the change-up that I didn't think would happen. Name Changer on the back of Keki. Keki now under pressure from Name Changer, coming to the left-hander there of 8 and 9, out of the Mistral straight, running up the hill now and towards turn number 10 at Bose. But Zavo and Davidenko also nearly side by side as well, coming out the chicane. Davidenko's running at the back of Zavo. He's got much better straight line speed and much lower wings, it seems, compared to Zavo. He gets the run out of turn number 10 on the back of Zavo.
Get it through Bose?
No way around the outside of turn number 11. If this is pulled off, if that was pulled off, that would have been phenomenal. But Name Changer on the back of Keki, I think they're just sitting maybe on their laurels. Keki pulling away from Name Changer slightly. Name Changer, to be fair, is coming back at him. In toward the final couple of corners. Oh, and he makes contact with him. They make contact. Name Changer tries to get him outside the final corner. Davidenko and Watermelon spun. But to the line will be Macho, who's going to get second. Macho to the line, wins in France. Keki in second. Name Changer in third and steals fastest lap of the race as well. Phenomenal ending. Watermelon fourth.
Ballboy P6.
Oh, and Zavo actually retires from the session and is not classified within the results.
Not? Oh, he completed.
He crashed before the. He crashed before the finish line, I think.
Oh.
I think. Like, literally an inch before the line. It's literally so close before the end of the line.
But he's getting his points, right? Because he completed 90% of the race.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will. And Papine there, I think, in 10th might get classified for that final point-scoring position as well. Zero may be a bit of contact between Zero and the rest of the field in behind. So that is going to be something for the stewards to sort out. But Macho to the top step of the podium with a very, very funny-looking rosette around the waistband there of the Ferrari. Takes P1. In the end, had so much pressure from Keki. He weathered that pressure really well.
Yeah, of course. And I think if Keke didn't make that mistake, he would have got him. Because, look, he's in 4 tenths of Macho. And he gained 6 tenths through the last and the second sector. So, yeah, I think if he didn't make a mistake, he would have won. But, yeah, then he should have made the mistake. And Macho, I think, overall deserves the win as well. Because he just defended really good. And didn't lose, I think, the lead for 1 point. Or, yeah, with the pistol. But I think he stayed ahead of Keke the whole race. So.
Yeah, I think it was
great race from him.
I think the closest he got was within 1.5 tenths, and that 1.5
Yeah.
tenths and that VSC was costly, I think, for Keki. Macho takes the win though from Keki in second. Name changer there in third. Watermelon in fourth. Bunty there in fifth. Ballboy is certified P6 with Davidenko, Charlie, Zero, and Papine ran off the top 10. Then Chippy Sen missed the rest of the field. I know Zero was out of the race a little bit later on. I think we mentioned him there in the running order. Bobby Bolo were 13th and 14th. In 15th position, care to remind me who that was? Sevilla Flair, I think it was. I think. I hope it
Yeah,
was.
I think. Yeah.
I hope it was. I think it was. I think it was. But yeah, fantastic race. Obviously, we got to the end finally of that French Grand Prix, and apologies about the delays first and foremost. The first one, as I said in the F1 channel, we thought was honestly a disconnect from Keki's end, which is why we restarted. And then in the end, me, Charlie, and Ivan were having to sort out basically everything in behind. And in the end, we did get that sorted, and we did get to the end of the live stream with a few hassles, and I'm sure, hopefully, nobody blocks each other next week, and hopefully we can get some really good racing
No.
out on track as well for round number 5, which is, God forbid, in Monaco. Oh no. I thought we had it bad in France. At least we're not going to get any safety cars in Monaco, I guess.
Yeah, that's a glitch. But I'm not there next week because I'm on holiday. So
Good.
yeah.
I hope you're not going to Monaco for your holiday.
No.
That would have been awkward if you were. That would have been awkward if you were. Bunty's asking you, by the way, if anyone can join interviews, and the answer is yes.
Yes.
Anybody can.
Okay.
Anybody can. I mean, we've got Charlie and Papine, and we'll hear their thoughts in a second. Hopefully, we will hear from at least 2 out of the top 3. I want to really interview Keki because I'd be very much interested in what his thoughts are from that race, as well as, of course, the racing that we had, and the racing that he could have tomorrow as well for F1 Esports. But I know they're sworn to secrecy in telling me what they could be up to for F1 Esports. But Keki is going to be there, I hope, tomorrow. Good luck to him if he is going to be there. But a man that doesn't need luck in the end, he had to fight the hard way, but in the end, finishing in P1 is Mr. NSX Macho. And Macho, in the end, you took the race win. Keki was right there with you, though, and that could have easily ended differently.
Yeah. Yeah, especially I got a bit lucky at the start because like name changer and kicker dropped instantly behind Pepin, and I like was able to make a gap. So when I had that, like I was I don't know, I was quite slow on the straight, so like I needed that gap because if they were in the DRS, like you saw with Keke, he was just managing and he was keeping up. So it was quite a bit lucky on the start, but yeah, I guess managed that hard stint quite well. Then obviously Keke overtook Pepin, and then he was within like 1.9, and then he told me he had like 70% ERS or something. I wasn't like, well, I was just a bit saving up, so I had like 15 to 20, and then obviously he like burned it all, and he was right on my gearbox. And yeah, I mean, I could have been on the podium, but Keke deserved that win because I got lucky again with the safety car. He didn't have any DRS, so we were just like, yeah, I guess I was saved by the safety car in the end.
Saved by the safety car, and I think saves your championship challenge as well because you gain points on name changer as well. But talk us through that safety car as well because I was literally saying Keki is all over the back of him, and if there's not a safety car, Keki is going to win this race, and that's what I was saying in commentary. Were you feeling under pressure from Keki right in behind you just before that? Oh, when that safety car came out, even after that point?
Before the safety car or
Before and after the safety car.
yeah. Well, before the safety car, I'm in the same party with Keke, so it's always quite annoying. Let's say because yeah, you don't want to like hit each other off, and we're like, well, I'm not thinking like about it, and he isn't either because like well, we're like we're racing clean, so that's not a thing. But still, like you're even more careful when you're in the same party with each other. And I think he was saving. I was saving as well, so I was on 50. He was on like 60. And like I was just about to like try and maybe like get a bit of a gap in the last sector, but then the safety car and yeah, I told him instantly, like, yeah, we're gonna only have one lap of DRS, and with like name changer on his tail, I knew he was gonna have to defend and attack at the same time, which is quite annoying. So I was able to save up 65 until the last lap, and then on sector one, I just had to push absolutely maximum to like, uh, yeah, get the gap because he was closing on the straight so much.
Yeah, definitely so. And obviously, you go into Britain. It is next week, not Monaco, as Stephen has mentioned there in the chat. It is Britain next week. We are. Oh, as my bear with me. My TV has just switched itself off. I can't find my remote control. Ivor, do you want to ask a question in the meantime while I go searching in the dark for my remote?
No, it's Monaco next week. Or is it removed from the calendar?
It's Britain. I think it's got changed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's Britain next week, Macho. How do you think you're going to get on around there? It is a track I think you've done well at in the past.
I think I've done well in the past, but at the same time, it's one of those tracks again where it's so hard to make the difference. And like, I don't know, I think everyone is quick around there because you've done the track 1,000 times, and yeah, it's gonna be another one of like races like this where everyone's gonna be in the DRS train, which I don't know. I don't really like those races where you have DRS trains all the time, and obviously, like Keke was telling me as well, he's obviously gonna wait until last lap. It's like not there's no point of overtaking before that because you can save so easily in the DRS. So that's what's gonna happen as well next week. But yeah, I hope for the best.
Yeah, hoping for the best as well, and hopefully as well, we might see you in F1 Esports Challengers next year because you have just defeated an F1 Esports Challengers reserve. So I think that will go to bed with you very nicely indeed. Go and enjoy Ethan.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for the comments.
You are very welcome indeed. We now move on to the man who, in the end, could have got P2 at the end of that race. In the end, finishing in P3, the former F1 Esports Challengers man, Venelard Name Changer. People are going to get sick of me for calling him that, but Name Changer finishing in third, didn't quite have the pace compared to Keki and, of course, of Macho who took the win. Third place for you, I think, is damage limitation.
That's right. Like, start of the race, when I was checking the pace, I was kind of like catching Mako between 2 to 1/10 a lap. But then, well, being my usual self, I spun, so my dreams and hopes of doing anything worth mentioning just disappear. So yeah, and then, well, I even took a fucking, excuse me my language, I took a penalty as well, with a pit entry. So yeah, it was quite a trouble like race. Not much to be spoken about for my kids in the future, so yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously that 5-second penalty put you on the back foot. But that safety car, I think, saved your face because the front two pitted in and set us off compound tyres. You had that 5-second penalty to serve. In the end, you came out in third. Was third the best you actually could hope for? But you were obviously putting Keki under pressure at the end of the race. Could second have been within reach?
Well, perhaps. Like, Keke had quite low wings, so it's quite hard to pass him. And I just tried to save a PRS to maybe put on some offense on the last lap. But it all came to nothing in the end, so that was quite disappointing. But yeah, considering all, I guess I have to take the third position.
Yeah, third position, as I say, is damage limitation. I believe the way the championship works out, if I'm not mistaken. Where did you finish? You were second in the sprint, weren't you? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you were. So second in the sprint, you get. I'm just trying to work out the standings live on stream, which is not the best thing. You were 15 points ahead of Macho. Lost a point in the sprint. Then you've lost 10 points in the race. So I think it's a 4-point advantage you still have in the championship going into next week in Britain. How do you think you're going to get on around there? And is that pressure now on with you still being the championship leader?
Kind of depends. Like Mako's quite rapid, it seems, so it's like all gonna be about consistency. This championship, I think, with the skill difference. Like, well, no offense to any of like the bit slower drivers, but it's just like between me, Macho, and Keke, or has been so far. So yeah, like like us, if you have a bad race, like you still lose like, well, I lost 10 points to Mako today, so it's kind of it's all about like not spinning or picking up stupid penalties like I did today. But yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like more or less the same as today, or we just like pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully so. I think it'll be good to see you back at the podium. Hopefully, you're going to be taking the championship lead as well, going into what will be Monaco, I think, on the 1st of May as well. So, congratulations on that P3. Go and enjoy Ethan.
Thanks for the comp.
You are very welcome indeed. Now, who is next on my list? I wonder. Let me have a look. It is Mr. Is he here? No, he's not. I thought it was Watermelon. It's Mr. CPI Bunty, who finished there in P5 from P12. And Bunty, first of all, what on earth happened in the sprint?
Oh, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just just outrate myself a lot of the time, too many times, and obviously I was thinking before the when even I saw the rain in the sprint, I could hold on because obviously it's tough to overtake in the rain, but I paved a golden path for everyone to get past me. It was just I just outrate myself. I think too many times and got a bit too greedy, trying to stay close to I think it was Pepin. Got the penalty, which was a silly penalty because I didn't gain any time. I just outbroke myself, tried to rejoin, but the penalty didn't matter anyway. I obviously got damage. I just kind of it got worse and worse. But obviously feature you score bigger points, so that was obviously at the end of the sprint the hope, and obviously managed to get that. 10 of them is quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously recovering in that feature race as well, of course, finishing, I believe, in P5 from P12 on the grid. Congratulations on that result, first and foremost. Were you expecting a result in the top 5 at least? Because it looked like, for some of that sprint race at least, it looked like you did have pace.
Yeah, I did a fair bit of practice, and I think I'm getting quicker, slowly but surely, like in FRL compared to other guys. So I wasn't expecting a top 5. I don't think from P12 you can expect a top 5. And after like a few safety cars last few weeks, I never kind of know how it's going to play out. But I knew I had good pace. I think I was confident to get points, and I think I got ball boy at the start, which was a nice move. And then you just kind of I think got 0 or was ahead of 0. You got David, and I think a few guys spun on Pepin obviously got a drive through, and then retired. So yeah, I mean, I just made my way slowly through the field. Didn't do anything special, but yeah, my pace was good. I don't think it was there for a podium. I think Name Changer and Co were too fast at the front. So yeah, I'll take those 10 points. Very nice for my championship.
Yeah, very nice indeed as well. And I believe you were 8th coming into the championship. So obviously going into Britain, which I think is one of your most favourite tracks. Of course, we're all from Britain, or most of us are from Britain here, in the commentary box at least. No offence, I've all Papine and Name Changer and Macho, who are still probably here in behind. But yeah, Britain next week, of course, swapping with Monaco. How do you think you're going to get on around there?
Britain, I'll hopefully I'm quite confident. I think I'll get on well. I think maybe top 7 result would be good, as Macho kind of said. I think everyone's quite good around Britain. It's hard to lose a lot of time, but obviously penalties might obviously come into place because it's fairly easy to get a penalty around there for at least me. So with the last few races getting penalties, if I can stay away from the penalties, get another solid result, I think I'll be closing up to the likes like Pepin in a championship who had poor results. So yeah, hope for a good result, maybe top 7 if I had to predict.
Yeah, still plenty of the season to go as well, with still, I think, 8 rounds left, of course. Will be interesting to see how you progress as the season goes on. Go and enjoy Ethan.
Thank you, you too.
You are very welcome indeed. And now we move on to the man who finished in P8 and was fighting with Bullboy for most of that race. It is Mr. FRL Charlie. And Charlie, a race that potentially could have been gone by the wayside and ended up fighting with Bullboy at the end.
Honestly, that was a frustrating race. I don't know what the hell happened.
in that corner where I spun, and I took it normally, and the car just went for some unknown reason, which was frustrating because I could have definitely been on for a top 5 there. But after I spun, I was tempted to just give up completely because I'd lost all positions. I was down to, I think, 13th. But then Bobby and Sen collided, and then Bobby joined back on track very unsafely because he cut across me and almost gave me wing damage. And then when I got near Ball Boy, it was the dirty air was just unbearable. I couldn't get any good exits in sector 2, so I just couldn't get ahead of him on the long straight.
Yeah.
And I got the move done probably 8 laps way too late, so I'd lost 10 seconds to David and about 5 seconds to Watermelon. And then when I pitted, I saw that I pulled 5 seconds on Ball Boy, so I knew that the undercut was powerful. But then the VSC came out, which wasn't very helpful because I think if it didn't, I was going to jump Watermelon and David, which would have gave me more positions. And then I got given a very unfair penalty at the end of the race where I literally gained no advantage when I went off the track. I backed off, but it still decided to give me it. But there's no point in trying to get it removed because I won't lose or gain any positions from it. But I think David is getting a penalty for the collision with 0 anyway, so I could still possibly get moved back up to 7th.
Yeah, and I mean in the sprint race you were running, I think, in 5th position, so you had the pace, I think, there to certainly run in the mid pack. And obviously the race didn't go according to plan, I think, from your perspective tonight. But taking the positives forward, of course, going through the season, are there any races that you're actually looking forward to as the season progresses?
I think, well, the only race that I was really looking forward to was Portugal, but that's getting removed from the calendar, I think, because there's a lot of glitches on the track, which is very annoying because it's a track that I'm very quick at.
How dare they
so
get rid
not
of
really.
Portugal?
No, I actually think they are getting rid of it.
Terrible. Yeah, I know there's a few glitches around there, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised whatsoever. But yeah, obviously with Britain next week, how do you think you're going to get on around there as well?
I thought it was Monaco next week.
Why is it Britain and I am not there then?
Now I'm getting told one thing and I'm getting told a different thing. Hang on. We had a discussion about this and behind the scenes, and we were going to swap Britain and Monaco to try out a potential reduced SC in F2, if I'm not mistaken. That was what we were discussing.
Right.
So if that is the case, well, regardless, whichever track it is, how do you think you're gonna get on?
Britain is never the track that I look forward to now. I just have such a massive curse on that track. It never goes well for me. I think I've only been on the podium twice in like probably the 20 or 30 races I've done, because the game just hates me on that track for some goddamn reason. And if it's Monaco, then it's just a terrible track to race at, considering it's just impossible to overtake.
Yeah. Hopefully it is not Monaco. Hopefully it's Britain, and you can have a real good crack at the race next week. Go and enjoy your evening. And now we will speak, I believe. Hang on, we've got one more left. I think it is NLR Papine, who in the end finished there in P10, dropping down the field, picking up the puncture. Eventful race from Papine's perspective. Talk us through it.
Yeah, first part of the race. I went into this race without any practice, without any lap, and yeah, that might not have been the smartest, as it's already 3 months I'm doing no assist, but on tracks like this, where I did one league race before, then yeah, but already a month ago or something. Then the first 5 laps in the race, for sure, I needed to get used to it, and then I kind of fucked my race then, because then Macho could create a gap. But after the gap stayed quite the same, but I couldn't really gain because I lost the gap at the start of the race. and Name Change was behind me, and yeah, I saw he wanted to overtake me, so I decided to let him through. Not gonna fight him, and so I can just stick with him, and he can drive to Macho, and that was working. He was almost in the DRS of Macho, and I was still in his DRS. So, but then he just spun, and then he was just so fast, and so I had to use all my ERS to follow him to stay in the DRS, and then I could manage something. But then yeah, he spawned and the gap was 2.2 seconds. So yeah, it was just the same again. And then I was like, let's do the same again with Kiki. I'm gonna let him through and try the same. But he just had massively ERS advantage. I didn't really expect that. So he just could drive out of my DRS. So that didn't work. Then I was like, just gonna stay out and look for a safety car. They came a VSC, and then yeah, the moment I came out of the pits, then directly the VSC ended. But my delta, I had no time to when I came out of the pits, it was like 1 second red, but the VSC ended on the point when I went out of the pit. So I directly tried to get green delta, but yeah, I didn't have time for that. So yeah, a lot of frustration because of that, because I couldn't avoid that. And then yeah, then frustration from the start, and I spun and I spun and spun, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care about this anymore, and I took too much curb and crashed. So yeah, just sometimes you make mistakes and you can't do anything about it, but things like this, you can't avoid that, and that is the frustration thing about it.
Yeah, it's racing at the end of the day, and I think with that racing and the knowledge that you have as well, I think just taking hopefully the positives rather than the negatives out of that race is probably going to be something to work on, and hopefully as you progress through the season, you will do well. Of course, I believe it's either Monaco or Britain next week. How do you think you're going to get on around there?
Well, Monaco, I never did that without ABS even, because at the start of this game, I drove fifth line in ABS, and then I did Monaco for once, but that's FRL F2 season 10. That was the last time I drove around Monaco. But now everything changed a lot, ABS off and line off. So yeah, I never drove on a track without, and so I hope it's not Monaco, but Britain, because otherwise I think I shouldn't really start that race, because yeah, I already know I don't want to practice hours for that, because on Monaco you actually need to get good on the track. Like I may not even go on F2 pace right now, because I don't know where to turn in, don't know how the brakes are. So yeah, I hope Britain, and yeah, Britain, I don't know. I think you can't really be slow or really fast around the track. It's just it's a simple track, and like what Macho said, just DRS trains again, and ERS managing until the last lap, and then using everything. I think that will be almost all the tracks on in this season. So yeah,
Yeah,
I will just I will just start and let's hope for the best.
Yeah, let's hope for the best indeed. Hopefully, it will be much improved, and hopefully you can get within the points next week, whatever track it may be. Go and enjoy evening.
Thank you. Thanks for comms.
You are very welcome indeed. And that rounds us up very neatly indeed for the interviews for FRL F1 tonight. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, take that notification bell. Of course, if you're brand new to the channel, we are going to be back next week with either Britain or Monaco. It's going to be one of the two for Stewart. I believe it might be Britain, though, so we might be back for the British Grand Prix next week, as opposed to Monaco, and then we can get to try out that safety car on Reduce, which I think we'll have an official confirmation about that very soon indeed, hopefully within the next few days or so. But for myself and Ivo, who I've really enjoyed commentating with tonight, I really hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is going to be fantastic racing as we go through the season, and hopefully we get on top of the issues that we have had for the last 2 weeks or so. But yeah, it is going to be fantastic. And of course, yeah, well, I think we're going to leave it there because I'm absolutely shattered, knackered, and yeah, I'm now going to probably go and rest up, I think, which is absolutely deserved. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time in FRL F1, take care and goodbye.